Hey everybody, this is Jared with Stampede Blue, and this is your Indianapolis Colts post-game wrap. The Colts lost today at home to the Washington Commanders. The final score was 17 to 16. The Colts are now 3-4-1 and 2-2 at home. Uh, Second-year quarterback Sam Ellinger was 17 to 23 for 201 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, sacked a couple times. Otherwise, had a really solid first outing. If I got to be brutally honest, if you really think about all the first games for just about any quarterback are a disaster. All things considered, this went pretty well. Taylor Heineke for Washington balled out. 23 for 31, 279 yards, had a touchdown and interception, was also sacked a couple times. Not quite as good a day. But Jonathan Taylor, 16 carries for 76 yards. Not all the way back, but he's on his way. Paris Campbell had a 28-yard rush. Naheem Hines had a touchdown. Nice to see him ball out today. To be honest with you, this is the most exciting the Colts offense has looked all year long. I'm not at all surprised that they lost. As I stated earlier in any of the articles or content you've seen out of me in the last week, I'm happy that the Colts made this change. It's very hard to win football games in the NFL. And Taylor Heineke, for the record, had a start under his belt already this year with Carson Wentz getting hurt before last week. So for Sam Ellinger to come out, complete well over 75% of his passes, even ended the game with two straight completions on that last drive. And they did give the Colts enough time with 22 seconds left. And frankly, if we have to place blame, it's Michael Pittman drops a wide open pass across the middle late. He had room to run. He could have probably got us into the fringe of field goal range with time left on the clock. And instead, the Colts do it. He has to take Sam Ellinger had to take what he could get there in the last couple of plays because they're clearly going to take away the D ball. He's just going to try to get the ball out of his hand and reset and try to catch him off guard on a later down. But yeah, the Colts certainly look wise for the record for making this move. If I if I'm again being very honest, there are several instances where Sam got escaped pressure and made a productive play out of that, and was even used as a factor in the run game. So for a lot of people, they're going to ask, like, is it QB season? Well, I think you're always trying to get younger and better at any given position in the NFL. And as much as we can like Sam Ellinger and what he brings to the table today, even completed the longest pass the Colts had completed all season to Alec Pierce, right? We can't take that and say he's the answer. So think about how crazy it is for me to sit here and say, like, I really think the Colts were wise for making this move to go to Sam Ellinger and say, like, can you do this? And the question is, can he play starting quarterback in the NFL? And the answer is yes. Can he get better? Yes. Can he clearly make throws? He completed the longest pass the Colts had all season. So is this an upgrade to what Matt Ryan was bringing to the table? Yes. Matt Ryan's shoulder was injured, so he wasn't even trying to throw the ball over 20 yards, as evidenced in our podcast this past week. I talked about how I didn't feel like Matt Ryan threw a ball over 20 yards, and we went and looked at the next gen stats, and sure enough, in Matt Ryan's last game before he got hurt, he had only thrown one ball over 20 yards. So, for all intents and purposes, Sam Ellinger will do. This is a starting level quarterback in the NFL, and you can win with this. I think that the offensive line still needs work. I think Jonathan Taylor is still on the mend. I still think that Shaq Leonard needs to mend a little, but ultimately gets an interception on his first game back. So I think that there were a lot of positives here today. I do not think the season's necessarily lost. It's absolutely draft season, right? As many are going to claim. And again, there are just a lot of football left, and how the Colts may not have better, easier opportunities to get wins. This is one you'd like to get. This is an organization you'd like to beat, especially after Jim Irsay makes comments about Dan Snyder. And that's not to say I disagree with Jim Irsay. I think Dan Snyder is a stain on the NFL, if I'm being completely blunt, and that the league is better without him in it. And I can't wait until somebody takes that organization away from him, and that it's run like like the organization it could be. Um, Now that said, the Colts, like I said, 3-4-1, travel and play the New England Patriots, who just beat my other team, the New York Jets. And the reason I say the other team is I started a coaching certification today with Soldiers to Sidelines, which is a 501(c)(3) aimed at getting veterans NFL jobs. And then the New York Jets and Verizon actually partnered with Soldiers to Sidelines to sort of give veterans the skinny on how NFL organizations are run and what sort of levels of preparation. And the Colts obviously on the road, it's hard to win, and New England's a tough place to play. And I'm not saying that the Patriots are very good. They're 4-4, and a lot of people are saying like Mac Jones ain't it. So it's not again. The Colts aren't playing a team that they can't beat this upcoming week. It's just what do you expect in a season where your league leading rusher is got an ankle injury. He got his ankle taped during the game. And Shaq Leonard, it looked like early in the game, literally avoided contact a couple times. And of course, he made a pick late and kept, you know what I mean? And sure, but at the expense of. And if you really think about it, the Colts really did get kind of gashed in the run game today. So yeah, I think that this loss I kind of expected. Obviously, you'd love to win home games, and it's difficult to even to expect to go into the road next week and win. Again, I think it's a certainly it's a possibility. This is an organization that it doesn't really matter who the Patriots have at quarterback. They're putting out a competitive roster and a game plan and can beat you. So the Colts are human, and still, right? They did not play a complete game. They played a pretty good game though, all things considered. And I think that's obviously you're disappointed when Michael Pittman comes up a little short, but ultimately you're happy that Sam Ellinger ended the game upright. Only got sacked a couple times, was able to be productive when pressured. And that's all you can really ask for. And that's what you have to have at a bare minimum in the NFL. So, again, this has been Jared with Stampede Blue. This is your Indianapolis Colts post-game wrap. If you like the content I produce, please like and subscribe to my channel to help it grow. Other than that, hey, enjoy the rest of the games this week. We'll see you after next week's games.